Faraway friends, welcome. You have once more found yourself at Darkeport, Curse of Strahd edition. Here we are, here we shall remain. Shout out to our sister stream, Constructed Chaos, Alex Morgan, and the rest of the Chaos crew. Woo! Doing their thing, wrapping up their massive arc, and innovating as always over there. I also want to thank Briarwick Candles for being with us. And I believe this is the first time that we have the new label, the joint Briarwick and Darkeport.
Yes.
It's official.
Ooh.
We're right there.
See that? It says
Darkeport.
Oh,
Thank you, Miss Kate Glass, CEO and founder of the most excellent company.
So cool.
And it definitely helps set the mood when we're at the table.
Mm-hmm. I smell like I'm in a filthy dungeon. No, it smells way better.
It
smells much better.
She probably could make that.
I'm sure she could. I'm not sure I'd want to light that one.
It's actually got our font on there, not just our name.
It's beautiful.
We love it. So thank you very much for that, Kate. It's
awesome.
Wonderful to see. Okay, and with that, let's get this kicked off.
Light this bad boy. See how well I do today.
Just do like whispers in the...
Voila.
Prestidigitation, go.
Yeah. Not bad. If I do say so myself.
Just like that.
Good job.
You and Tatiana both have the...
Tatiana kicks my butt in the candle lighting department.
I have to say, it's almost disappointing. Like, early on, everyone looked like they were about to pass out from being, candle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, not anymore.
But now it's so quick.
She's too good. She's gotten too good.
I see the look of sadness on Donnie's face.
We barely
can't get to the high notes. He's like,
oh. There's like 3 seconds and it's over.
Man.
Farron, you have our journal entry today, eh?
You.
All right.
Let me whip out my totally legit journal. So I envisioned this as her journal the night after we finally escaped the Durst Manor. We finally get to rest.
Are these her bathroom thoughts, part 2?
Yes. she's always in the bathroom. That's where she can think. That's where she can be truly herself,
Oh, the bath? I was not thinking.
Bath
thoughts. I'm like toilet thoughts.
Potty thoughts.
That's a different genre.
We'll see. All right.
Different page.
All right. Let's see. I have no one in this life, in this world, in this strange new world, with whom I can share the true depths of my fear. Seeing that abomination that dwells in the depths of the Durst dungeon has left me shaken to my core. Though the small Finny has perturbed me time and time again, I will admit here to my non-existent confidant that something shifted in me when I saw him swallowed up in that gelatinous ruin of a creature. Surely it must have come from my logical mind that knows that his skills have helped keep us alive through this treacherous mess. Whatever the reason, that encounter felt like an icy dagger to my very spirit. I fear I even revealed some of this terror to Durgan. His ability to occasionally peek through my facade could become problematic if I'm not careful. But then again, he's the closest thing to a friend I've ever known. But friendship is not for me. This is the story my life has told me time and time again. I best not forget. I made the bargain long ago that I shall seal my heart, and in exchange, never feel that choking, gagging, clenching pain of rejection again. Before I was even given the chance to process that encounter with that blob, something even more puzzling occurred. When we finally left the cursed manor and were met by one of Strahd's brides, I was distracted by an image that has not left my mind's eye since. Face, appearing like this land's missing moon out of the mist. It seems to offer my heart's desire, an escape from this place. Whoever it was, they will be watching, and so will the dreaded lord of this land. Based on what I've heard, from this mysterious face, from the bride, and all the miserable people who inhabit this valley, only one thing seems clear. My survival depends on how entertaining I am. So fuck it. I dare you, Lord Strahd. Watch me dance.
I was breathing after that. That was so good.
Oh.
End scene.
Caitlin brings the
We have a
Yes, she is quite the attitude.
we have a resilient and resolute Farron going down into this cold mess of an undercroft as you hear some sort of soft, sibilant hissing. Yes, I can smell your blood. You should leave. No! And you were greeted most undecorously at the foot of these rickety stairs. Everyone roll for initiative.
Oh, jeez. Well, starting off strong, guys.
Here, I'm doing the baby
He
dice.
was efficiently distracted at the other end of the place over there.
Yeah, there was the distraction going on. There was a distraction.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I'm...
Oh, initiative plus 3. Okay,
How do
so
I want
18.
to run that?
Father was still.
Let me see. No.
The whole.
No. That's a good point.
Thank God you remembered that.
Let me see how you got. Let me see how y'all. Let me see how y'all run.
His brain is always ready with a recap.
Honestly. Let's see
That's
it.
good. What did everybody got?
Somebody's 18.
18 total. Okay.
5.
5. Oof. Durgan.
17.
17. Okay.
That dice can leave. Good night. I don't like you right now.
And Gira. Was that good?
As good as me?
It bumped my pencil.
Are we not wanting over there?
I got a net 1
Okay.
plus my little 3.
So that
if
brings
that
you to
counts.
4. Go ahead and roll for Finny. He's got a +4.
Initiative.
Initiative. That's cute.
It's actually super cute.
Thing.
5 on the die.
Oof.
How tempted are we going to be to?
I need
Like
to
Mortal Kombat when
lecture
it's-
both
he gets
of
the
my
killing
dice
shot.
sets. Apparently.
I think I'm going to make this. I think I'm going to make this easy, and I'm going to have him roll initiative with disadvantage. I think that's what I'm going to do.
Oh, the creature?
Because he's hesitating and kind of
Oh, okay.
going back and forth and trying to shove his mouth up to the little hole.
I'm already cold.
That's much better for y'all.
Okay, we'll take it. We'll take what we can get.
It definitely slows them down.
Okay, cool.
First 2 characters in through the door have probably the lowest initiative.
Right. So
Becoming a pattern. I don't know.
where did my little guy run off to? I just had him up here with me.
Oh no, he's gone.
Our master is not being
Oh,
much of
no.
a master right now. I'm just
Harsh.
kidding.
Harsh. Relentless. Okay. So this thing had crawled, and remember, it had crawled its way over.
Look out,
That
bear!
comes later. That comes later.
There's fire down here!
It had crawled its way up there. And you see this uncanny situation where it's hanging almost like a spindly spider, just kind of bobbing and weaving on, and you're not entirely sure how it can support itself like that, but it has these long yellowish jagged nails that are acting as some kind of purchase, but that in and of itself surely isn't enough. As the toes, long since burst through decayed sandals, are also scrabbling to try to keep it in place. And this is a bit of a cluster. So, let's see. I would say Gira, but Artexia, you're all the way at the back.
Oh,
What are you gonna do from back
Wait,
there?
what's happening? Oh no. Wait, so he's coming after me? Wait, what?
Well,
You're just moving
you're-
first.
you're-
so
Okay.
effectively right now, this thing here. I have to use the official claw over here.
The claw.
So This thing is effectively just with has its mouth attached to the hole as Father Donovich is bleeding into it. And you can see, like, the face is here and the eye comes over. But it's still eating. And you're just catching, I mean, you're up here, so you're mainly just catching glimpses and hearing these wet noises. But you know what Donovich was doing up there.
Right, you're right. Yeah.
But these ponderous people are just trundling about, and they're in your way right now.
Okay, so ultimately, I want to push past whoever and make my way over here to the left, just to get a better advantage point, but not approach him yet.
Okay. Excuse you.
We should all make commentary as
go
you
here.
pass.
Right?
So you can
Watch it.
you get so.
Hey, babe.
There you go. Farron's actually oddly okay with this.
How you doing?
You poke your head. I'll say that's 15 feet, and you have 35, so you have 20 more, because it's double to go through them, and you just ran around Morgathy. You kind of poke your head in there, and you see this situation, but you have all these bodies in between you and this thing.
Can I do, I guess like, I don't know, magic check. I want to check around to make sure there's not any, like, traps in between us, and then, to make sure it's...
Sure, make a perception roll.
Okay. You're good at that. You're good at this. You got this. 10 plus 6, so 16.
16. You glance, and your keen elven eyes don't spy any additional vampires or creatures down here. It does look like this section back here is starting to collapse, and you're seeing beams that are hanging askew.
From the ceiling?
From the ceiling, yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Almost like this thing has been just clawing and clawing and clawing for the past year at them. But still has not managed to break through. So it's a good thing y'all got here, because eventually he was going to gnaw his way through the beams and bring a portion of the upstairs down. And you can see that this thing can crawl on walls apparently just fine.
Okay, well, I think for my last, can I shift back into, use my last, like, well, is that way, because...
You can. You can, although there's no room there.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's fine.
Probably the best you're going to do, Artexia, is you could get here, and then if you don't care, you could hurdle steps and jump down.
Yeah, I don't care. Fuck that.
Okay. Okay. You shove through Durgan. There's an Artexia who kind of slides past your back, and then make an acrobatics or athletics check as you leap off.
That's right, because you know.
It's better.
Oh. A 9.
A 9?
Because you know that I might break my ankle or something.
So as you jump, even your scant.
Acrobatics is +3.
Oh, I thought it was athletics.
12.
Athletics or
Either
acrobatics.
Either one.
Oh, okay,
Yeah, so
okay.
use that one. 'Cause
Okay,
then you
so
have
that's
an
11, yeah.
11? Okay. That's good. So you jump, and
Gives you an
as you slam down, the rotted wood starts to go under, but you're just nimble enough to not have your leg get sliced on the wood.
That was
So
bad.
you twist, and you manage to land with this thing like between your legs. Just
Look up at everybody, and I'm like, gonna move my leg out from around and just stand there.
and that so now you're down there, and I'm going to say, because of how crowded it was, that was a main action. Although you do still have your bonus action left. Do you want a wild shape now?
Yes.
That you're down there?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And there's not a lot of room. Like, if I had to go through other stuff, I should not be a direwolf, or is there?
There's probably just enough room. I know it's
Or the bear.
I know it's a little bit hard to see. Each of these are these kind of crudely put together wooden columns. Can you see those? Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Supporting the ceiling.
Yeah, supporting the ceiling.
Oh, I
So
see.
you could-
Okay.
I think, hold on, 5, 10, let's say 20. I'm going to say you have enough to get out from this, so that you're not smashing into that column.
Okay.
And then you probably have enough room to wild shape into a direwolf.
I'll go ahead and I'll do
Okay.
that.
and you see your compatriot's form replaced by the slavering, rapacious
And it felt
Body.
sticky this time, so I'm gonna sit there and shake
body
it
of the
off my-
direwolf.
Whatever, real quick. Yes.
What do we know? What are the? Oh, those are wolves.
Those are regular.
Yeah, they're small.
They're not diary.
That's not diary.
Yeah. Well, I'll get more.
Thank you for
Yes.
painting those though,
Yes.
and making them. Okay, and who is the next? I can't even read my own damn writing. Who had the 17?
Not the
I did.
own
That was
damn.
you. Yeah, Durgan. Okay,
Get him, Durg.
go.
All right. I don't know how far I can move forward, but if I can, if I can get to a place where I can move in and try to use a sacred flame on him.
You have enough. You have enough movement that you could get through Finney, and then kind of juke,
Yeah.
kind of cut through, and get there. Although that's going to be direwolf body. So 10, 20, 25. You could still get out.
Okay.
As you shove through. So there's a little bit of Finney. There's a lot of fur, and a lot of gristle and direwolf. You get through, and the eyeball opens, and
All right.
watching you bugging out as you come down.
All right. He
Feels like a flea on my side when you walk by.
Okay, so it has to make a dex check.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Spell save. 14.
Dex. Yeah, it's dex though. It's 14. Okay. Unfortunately,
Hoping that it's
it twists away,
it is.
and
Okay.
and the flame now that you're Emperovia proper has even more gray to it than it did before, but it still looks viable. Yeah, this thing is pretty squirrely as you see it, as you see it jittering around.
Too much Adderall.
And it should be going now, but like I said, it's still hung up on trying to get the last bits of blood coming down. So instead, Morgathu, oh, wonderful. And he's really tall. He's having to stoop, but Durgan's down there, and Finney's super short, so I think he does have line of sight now. Okay. He says, kind of glances up at you. Do I even bother? All right. Well, it's not like this thing is breathing, but let's go ahead and find this out. Radio and Fissio. And fuck. Yeah, that's bad. Okay. He does gather up this green and gray corona around him, fires, and this thing continues to jitter and squirm. And so as the bolt lances out, it splashes harmlessly against the wall next to it. He's not going to... So that was 10, 15, 25... Oof. Fuck. No, can't get through.
Can you hop on top of me and sit on top of my back?
Finney would do that. He would not. Okay, so he's gonna
Get fur all over his garments?
he's gonna sit there. Y'all have not damaged Home Dude yet.
Thank you for reminding us.
Yeah, right.
We noticed.
I'm just like as far as what he does. I guess it's actually Finney next. So poor baby Finney will go 10,
Fearless Finney.
15, 20, and yeah, 10 over here. Get really cozy with this thing.
Brave boy.
Yeah. And there you go. Takes his dagger. One of his daggers, chucks it over there, end over end. It just nicks this thing on the thigh, and it barely seems to barely seems to notice.
Great.
And then Finny,
We can touch him and he won't care for now.
you don't know if Doru can see him, but he presses himself deep into the shadows of the column, and only because y'all knew exactly where he went in the first place, do you know where he's at. So the vampire might well lose track of him, i.e. bonus action. Cunning action for hide. Okay, now finally this creature... is gonna try... So it crawls. He crawls
On the fucking
onto the
ceiling?
wall on the ceiling
Hell no.
Oh, heck no. No! No!
and drops down and tries to get really, really comfortable with Durgan.
Tries.
With Durgan. And so hungry. But instead, as it drops down, Durgan, it gets a mouthful of shield, and you feel it thrashing around up there. It has to be. Yep. Nope. So that's basically what it can do. Okay. And there's the other one. Okay, and then it tried to slip under and just basically puncture in, but your breach guard, it slides off of your plate. What are you?
Chain.
Chain right now. So it slides off of the chain breach guard. There's a small little spark. Those claws are nasty. They can rend somebody. And despite the fact that he looks emaciated down here, he's strong. What's your strength? 13, so he feels strong.
14, actually.
14, that's what I thought. So he feels stronger than you, to you.
Lovely.
Okay, so, Farron, you're up.
But I'm more stable.
Okay, I want to get past Morgathy.
Center gravity.
I feel like I'm going to hear that a lot in this campaign.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so that's 10, 15.
And he's down.
Oh no! Sorry, Morgan.
Would I be able to fire something his direction
Yeah,
without
because
squeezing between kind of Gira and Durgan there?
you're still elevated enough, yeah.
Okay.
I get down here. He's getting mouthy with me.
She says, on my way. She brings her hands together, pulls them apart, and you see a small orb form between her hands, and she says, fire, and shoots a fireball chromatic orb in his direction.
All right, you hear behind you Morgathy say, where did you learn that trick? That's just cheating. Because remember, neither one of you could really, your magics weren't really effective here. Okay, it spirals off toward this thing, and...
That's gonna be a 12 to hit.
12. It zings past it and splashes on the ground.
Darn it. Gosh darn it.
And
Can we hit this sucker?
And Caitlin, give me a die 20 roll as you feel the mana, the wild magics ebb and flow. Okay, good.
18.
Okay, so you're fine. You're fine. Good. Not even close.
Nothing too wild.
All right, and Gira. It is now you.
All right.
As you trundle along.
I know she like tripped on her feet or something, and she's just.
Gira's having a rough time right now. Okay.
Yeah. So she's gonna come around to Durgan's right.
Okay.
Basically. Yeah. And give a nice, hopefully nice slice into.
A nice little whack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is the guy still on Durgan?
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah. Fortunately, Durgan, you're strong enough that even this whole thing's body weight basically camping out on you isn't enough to overbear. I mean, he's probably like a...
Wow, you're like really strong.
Yeah. Well, he's been starving down here, so, you know.
So strong.
Okay, go for it.
All right. That's decent. Yes. How about a 19?
Yes.
You cleave into his shoulder, roll damage, and let's see how far the cleave is.
Right.
Cleave that motherfucker.
Is a total of 10.
All right.
Total of 10. Pretty good.
Slice him up.
You notice you've hit plenty of things with this very weapon, actually. And you know, with the amount of force that you just chucked into it, you're hitting something. It's not like hitting another Chosen, because you fought Chosen before, where that flesh is hardened. There's this weird thing that happens as you start to sink deeper. The deeper it gets, the more you can feel your force just getting dissipated through its body, almost like it's getting ground out. And it does do some damage to it, but not nearly as much as it should.
Okay.
Christ.
All right. And we're back up to Artexia, and I assume you want to get in on this thing?
Yes.
So you lumber, you're like huge and you lumber, but you're also super graceful because you're a wolf. So you kind of like, you fetch up against this column a bit, and you have to be careful because you're just fitting in here. Because it's like every 4,
Yeah.
you know.
What happens if I break down a column?
Well.
We're gonna find out. Or we'd rather not find out.
So on the home Curse of Strahd game, I got to look up what collapsing debris and traps do. So
You don't.
Oh,
I don't want to look it up.
it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
Okay, fine.
So there's some
Be
dust that
grateful
comes down as your rump fetches up against it because you're all hip right now.
I got lost in it, baby.
But you see this thing sitting almost perched on Durgan's shield, just trying to find a way around to not so tender dwarven flesh.
Reach up,
Sorry.
can I reach up and try to grab like the nape of his neck
neck.
again? Like he's one of my children.
Remember me.
You can. So I think inherent in your bite attack there is kind of a grapple, or you can just try to grapple this thing.
No, I want to bite.
You want to bite?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll to hit.
It's 2d6, right?
If you hit for damage, but you have to roll the die 20 first.
Okay. Read this one.
And it should have what the plus to the attack is on there, hon.
11.
Probably hits.
Wait, which one is it? Fuck.
The attack bonus.
Yeah, attack bonus where.
Yeah, bite, probably.
Where do you see this?
Yeah.
Bite.
Yeah,
Is it
plus 5
10?
to hit.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay.
Okay, so
Wow.
16. You chomp down. Yeah, go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll damage on it.
Okay.
Bite him up.
I believe in you. Oh, it's 2 6s.
2 6s. Wow, you chomp down like a mother.
Good.
Mother effort.
Bite his
And
head
it's
the fuck
2 to
off.
6 plus 3, I think.
Yes.
On the
Yeah.
bite. Okay. So that's a total of 15.
Nice. Well done.
And you feel the same. You feel the same thing. Where on this thing's desiccated little body, that should really do some damage. But as your teeth hit it, you feel them start to slow down unnaturally, and you can feel your force again being drained out through its body.
Literally fuck this guy. I don't like
Wait, he's training me as I bite into him?
No, like the kinetic energy is getting. It's like
Okay.
basically like you're punching water.
Right, okay.
Yeah, where it's getting
Not as
slowed down.
squishy as he looks.
resistant to everything.
Like chewy, really chewy.
Well, both of those were
Shake him.
And then he has to make a strength. I think he has to make a
Yeah.
strength check.
A strength saving throw. If targeted creature succeed, DC 13 strength.
That's for the
13.
grapple.
Yeah.
part.
Oh no, that's part of the bite. And you only get one bite around. Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? Since because you also have pack tactics, roll again and just let me see if you roll a 20. Because you should have rolled with advantage.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, remember, you should
your
be rolling with
buddies.
advantage because you're
That's
fighting with your
right.
buddies.
17.
No, not quite.
Oh, okay.
I was just going to double the damage too.
that would be some serious damage.
Okay, so you try to rip it off of Durgan, but like I said, this thing is incredibly strong for its size,
Shit.
and it's latched onto the shield like its unlife depends on it, which maybe it does.
I can't shake him
She
while
is-
he's in my mouth. I can't
You're
shake
trying,
him.
yeah. No, I mean you're doing,
yeah.
and so which basically you're jerking Durgan's arm around.
Okay. Oh, no.
You didn't need that arm. You can heal yourself later.
I do a growl and I drool on him.
There you go.
What are you going?
I don't know.
We're not done with you yet.
Just add insult to injury. I'm gonna drool right in your eyeball, bro.
10, 20.
Morgathi's coming, baby.
Morgathi's battle cry.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
So he skids around as this thing is
man.
completely focused on you. And remember he's 6'5". So he had the longsword. So he and he
my
murder
God.
strokes down on it and tries to pin it to your shield.
Oh yeah.
That works, actually.
Come on, Morgie.
And using both hands. No, that doesn't quite hit. So he slides, and you see its flesh is preternaturally tough, as this time the blade just slides along his back and off, ripping what rags he has off of him left. And you hear him cursing in Elven now.
He's naked.
Well, from the tunic, yeah.
Oh. That sounds negative.
All right, Finny. You can't have all the fun. And he gets over there, and he is finning out, and he is attacking twice. That's his main. Oh, that definitely hits.
Come on, Finnegan.
He definitely gets to flank.
9.
From any angle.
Yeah.
10, 11. All right, and unfortunately, the same thing happens where he slashes it with the short sword, and the same shot that should have like pierced down to the bone, it does hit in, but then it slows down oddly. Second hit also.
Is he gonna attack us next? I'm scared. He's next.
Hits him. Yeah.
People listening around us saying a lot more than I expected them to.
Yeah, y'all are scared.
Okay. And yep, well, thing's not going to kill itself. All right, Farron, you're up.
Are you sure?
I believe so.
There's 5 feet left in there if you want to join.
Oh, you know what?
Side we haven't covered.
Doru is in there.
Yeah.
Is the trap door still open?
It is. Doru, you are starting to work him a little bit, and he bounds. He takes the disengage action and kicks off of you.
Shit.
Damn it.
She knew
You come up with your own ideas, Angel.
No, this was going to happen. Bounds off of you, and I'm gonna say difficult terrain or has to go here. I'm gonna say has to go here. So
Oh my god, no.
Oh, hi.
He's gonna freaking escape.
15, 20, 25,
On my head.
30.
Oh, he's gonna
You
leave.
son of a gun.
So he slips around. He's just as jittery as ever. He shoves jukes past Farron, and he's up almost at the top. Already took the disengage action, so he can't dash, and so that's his round.
All right.
And now Farron, you are up.
She whips around and she says, "Not so fast." You see the black nails emit a strange kind of ooze, and she casts Hold Person and tries to stop his ass.
Okay. You see the ooze absorb into his scrawny little back, and there's nothing to hold purchase from.
You are lying.
There's nothing to hold purchase
This little
from.
He's
bastard.
not a person.
Not a person anymore.
He can't be held?
Apparently
He's
not.
unholdable?
Apparently not.
I
Wait,
don't
even if I
like
use my even if I use my my vines, my
Wait.
That's different.
Gira.
that's a
Yeah,
whole
because the
other
vines are
thing.
physical.
Okay.
Gira, you're up.
Manifestation.
So he's not.
She's gonna drop her shield, so she's got a hand free. She was
Okay.
thinking about doing that anyway.
Person.
She's
It
going
says
to
choose a
bounce
humanoid.
straight up those stairs.
Yep.
Angel, he's not humanoid.
He is.
This says humanoid.
He is undead.
But he's humanoid.
But he is the classification of undead. So you have to hold monsters.
No.
And this is something there literally aren't undead anymore on High Terra. So it makes sense to me that Farron has never tried this on undead before.
Yeah, like it's not working, and you're like, why didn't that work?
That little bastard.
The hairs on the back of your head stand up though as you realize this is not a person anymore.
Way to piss Farron off. Oh, she gonna get you.
Okay, so you're bounding.
If she gets to get you.
You're gonna bound
Yes.
up.
Wait.
She's going to tackle him to try to pull him down
Yeah,
and
you're
do a grapple.
So you squeeze past Farron,
Yep.
and now you're and then you're gonna try to tackle
So
him.
drop shield, run upstairs, and then
That makes
bear hug
sense.
from the back.
Well, no, because this thing is about to run out into.
And she's gonna throw her weight off to the right, off the stairs.
Yeah. Yeah.
She lands on her
Toppling.
own back.
Okay, make a athletics roll against him.
That motherfucker.
Come on, Gira.
She's like, I'll hold the person.
No!
Oh my god.
God damn it.
This is so rough.
Can I add anything?
Ruined us.
What can I do?
Oh, bless your heart. Okay,
I rolled a 2.
you slam into this thing, and he manages to throw you
We
off,
get this motherfucker.
and you're kind of the banister groans dangerously under your weight,
Well, there is a banister.
and you're kind of in this weird situation where you're not exactly in fair and square anymore, but it doesn't make sense to me that you're falling either. So, if it comes up, you're there, even though you cannot willingly end your turn in another.
I'm gonna action surge.
Okay.
Yes.
Time begins to slow down,
Y'all.
Please.
and we're gonna take another bite at the apple.
We're gonna take another bite at the apple
Okay.
because this guy cannot get out.
Get out into the general population.
So I'm gonna try to grapple again.
Okay, that
Get
other
him,
side of
Gears.
completely makes
Please
sense to
get
me.
him.
that could do it.
I'm about to lose my mind.
Am I adding 2 for
Athletics.
12?
12. No, that's bad. All right, no, you did what you could. That was probably the right move.
Okay, so
And you are basically, I assume you're going to try to stay as close to him as you can,
You're punished.
so you can get a attack of opportunity when he dashes out. Okay.
okay, so how tall am I? Can I reach over that banister and shut the door with my head or my hand or my paw or something?
Ooh. Okay, so you rotate.
Yes.
Just shove my way through
You're kind of shoving,
Girl, shove us. It's fine.
and then it's the trap door, and you can't quite get to the trap door, but you can definitely get to his leg or like waist. If you stand,
And I can yank him down underneath the banister.
if you're standing up like when the dog stands up to get something on the kitchen.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
on the
what
kitchen counter.
That's what I'm gonna freaking do.
Okay. Go ahead and roll
I
to.
don't want to yank him back down. Okay, so I
Get
do
him.
two. I do 2 of these for pack tactics.
Yes.
Okay.
And you're gonna roll and take the better of the 2.
I can be helpful in some way.
Yes.
Oh my god, 20!
Yeah.
You got a 20?
Yes.
Sweet.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Thank
We've
God.
never needed it so badly.
Now I should have. I should have asked you. Do you want to do your bite attack, or are you just trying to yank?
I think I'm just gonna yank.
Yank?
Yeah,
Okay.
I really want to make sure he gets away from that door.
I should have asked you before, so I'm going to let you keep that 20 because it should only have been 1 because it's pack tactics
Well,
for,
the other one's 18, so
for an attack roll. Well, that's still pretty good.
Meant to do.
I think you're strong. I think you're stronger than this thing, regardless, even if it rolled a 20. What's your plus on strength? Is it +3 or +4 for the dire wolf?
3.
+3. Yeah. Okay. Even with that, I mean, you just explode through and yank down. You're about evenly matched with this thing.
God damn it.
And if it had good leverage, if it had anything to sink its claws into, solid, but it doesn't. So instead, you just the rotting banister just completely goes now. Gira, it's a good thing that you have this because that might have finally done you in. But you fetch up against Artexia's left shoulder, and so you're kind of in this suspended in midair, but he's definitely grappled right now,
Thank God.
he can't move any further until he
Artexia to the rescue.
until he manages to kick you off.
All right, sweet.
Jeez Louise.
He was one move away.
Yeah, I know.
Being gone. Being gone. All right, Durgan, you're up.
How far up the stairs can I get?
You still have to.
I have movement of 25, so.
Yeah, you can't. Gira and Farron, that would cost you 10. So.
Okay, then if I can't get all the way up there, then I just, my best option is to not get in other people's way.
Okay.
Throw shit out.
You want to just basically be here to get a full, a good shot at him. Okay. What are you doing?
I attack. is grappling going to mean that spells are going to impact her as well?
Depending on the spell, probably not, because you have a fair degree of control. Of which it's a fair question.
Okay.
But
then
and with that 20, you basically just highlighted him, like you've torn him from the banister, and he's exposed up in the air for a second.
Oh, okay. Nice.
all right. I move into the position. I raise my hammer. Steel roll. And bring down a sacred flame on him.
Okay.
Flame that fuck up.
That's probably not.
No, guided bolt, you mean?
Got it, bolt.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry. Right.
And it's a burst of white?
Yeah.
White and gray? Okay.
Well, actually, it's kind of, it was supposed to be gold. I don't know if it still is here.
Okay, gold and gray. Yeah. So you have a +6 to hit. So what's your...
That's going to be an 11.
Ugh. All right. It twists around in midair and avoids that.
All right. Hold on.
Hold.
With my bonus action,
Yes.
Come on, bonus
Good
action.
animation over
I
here.
am going to bring to bear a floating hammer in his face to start attacking him.
Okay, with spiritual weapon.
You got it.
Okay. And that... Is it two... Is it not... You can't do 2 leveled spells in a round? Is that the... I think...
So no, you can only
Unless
do 2.
unless one of them actually says the casting time is a bonus action.
This is a bonus action.
No, I think you can only do a cantrip and a leveled spell, because Toby and I had this whole discussion.
It's whatever
it's
whatever
specifically
the
a bonus
casting
action.
time is.
I think that's news
I've
to me.
never heard of any other. There's homebrew rules.
Yeah... I'll allow it and I'll look it up, because I should know that by now. Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure on that, but I don't know, so... I don't know, so I will give you the benefit of my ignorance. Go for it.
Okay.
So that shimmers into existence.
God dang it, man. God, we're just rolling like shit today.
No, what is going on?
That's...
This one is rolling well.
Thank God one of us is.
Somebody is.
Help us, Texas. Give us your juju.
It's a die 8.
It is.
yeah,
But
okay.
I'm trying to figure out the attack bonus.
It's the same as your spell attacks is +6, Justin. What did you roll?
It says it's a melee attack, though.
It's a spell melee attack. What did you roll?
Okay. So that's a 11.
11. Okay, so that whiffs as well.
Yeah, these dice are
You were
Roll
doing
6 isn't a roll.
You were doing what you can. Oh man. Okay.
All right, guys. We're not dead yet.
Can one of y'all just reach out past him and shut this fucking door, please? While I have it
I was
there?
hoping to get up there, but I'm do it.
I'm gonna do that as soon as
We're
it
going to do what we can. Whoever can get to it first, I promise
Okay.
we will.
I'm just rolling.
Radio Infistio, motherfucker! As it splashes again, and he misses again.
No!
Nothing else with his spell. Okay.
I give him like a side eye and growl with him in the fucking air, getting impatient. I'm like,
Just he sighs. Finney.
Yes. Come on, Finny.
It's the only
Ride that
thing that
wolf.
makes sense for
He
Finny.
gets on the Urtexia Express.
Yeah, choo choo,
Clambers.
baby.
Clambers up. And that time you're bucking around. The short sword just whiffs completely. That is, him, and that dagger's gonna whiff as well. Okay. But he's up there with you.
We're gonna cut all of this and start over. Back to the
All right. And now Doru is going to.
He's so adorable.
Realistically, he should try to break.
I see what you did there.
I'm gonna give him a wisdom check for common sense. What he should do is he should try to kick out of your mouth and keep running, but he's really hungry,
Bloodlust.
so he may just try to eat you.
Okay.
So let me see here.
Yeah.
You're like,
Oh,
okay.
sexy blood die.
That is a 1. So
Not
very
very
down.
good.
so his eyes glaze over as this massive meal is literally breathing on him now.
This wolf has lots of
And he just turns on you and he starts trying to just eat away. So first, what's your armor class? Is the direwolf one?
Armor is 14. Natural armor.
Oh, 14?
Yeah.
Okay, actually that first claw comes in, but your hide is so thick that it basically gets tangled up in fur.
Nice.
Fur and muscle.
Sick.
He's coming you now.
Yeah, aw.
It's my fleas he's trying to get
You're like, yeah, keep it up. Brush my fur, bitch.
Okay, and the second one, it doesn't do much better, and he just slides off of you. So he's thrashing, but you're having him like basically completely off balance as you're worrying him back and forth in the air, kind of Hulk and Loki situation. All right, Farron, you're up. There's a lot of dust now in the air, and you start coughing as this banister is busted, and all this stuff is getting thrown up by the direwolf thrashing and the vampire thrashing and the finny thrashing.
The finny.
Okay. If I run up and close the door, is that going to be my entire action?
That would be interact with objects. So no, you could still have a main. You could still have a main action.
Then I will definitely bound up the stairs.
Okay, so you get up here.
Shut the
You
door
slam the trap door.
and turn, and I said fire, and she tries another
Okay.
worm. Come the fuck on. That's a fucking 1.
Oh God,
Swear
Caitlin.
to God. At least I closed.
Something here today.
At least I closed the door.
Okay.
It's a different die. I swear to God.
All right. This is
I give up.
this is Rise of Doru. Okay.
cannot.
It goes
Rise of Doru.
It goes completely wild, and you managed. It splashes, and normally ones don't matter, but in Curse of Strahd they're supposed to a little bit. So instead, it splashes over here, and I want you to make another attack roll on the column, and see if you hit.
Oh shit.
That's a 13.
That's a 13.
Of course it would
Yeah,
be.
it's probably high enough. Okay.
Damn it.
Go ahead and roll damage on the column.
It's like the dice know.
What am I rolling?
Fire damage. Whatever you would have.
What?
Whatever you would have with the chromatic orb.
I swear to God, you roll high right now.
17.
Okay, that column, the column splinters from the intense heat.
Well, it's been fun, guys. I'll just see myself out.
And
Great game.
I'm gonna have.
I feel like we need a crying session.
I know. I'm about to seek therapy. Honestly.
You hear a shriek.
Look at me getting all dusty.
as he has heated dust blow back on him. And he slaps at
My allergies.
and
Do we remove the dim light penalty now?
probably.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's a blaze. It's great.
And
Welcome, everyone. I
and you
did it on
hear,
purpose.
in between all this thrashing, you hear a
Cool.
as dust falls down from the ceiling.
Oh no.
Okay. Gira.
We're bringing the house down.
You're gonna save us.
Nice.
Gira, you're up.
You're gonna save us.
Does it look like he could just, if he could escape, he could just open the trapdoor and get out?
This could hardly be going worse.
Does she have anything or some way to at least delay that?
I need to take my jacket back off.
Do you have any?
Is there a ring on the bottom with another ring she could just hook something through?
Potentially, yeah. You could do that if you have any spikes. You could try to spike. You could try to jam.
She's got a dagger on her.
That
I mean, can you use that?
that might work, but this thing is strong.
She has nothing else.
The ceiling is about to fall, and what if we just take him into the next part of the cave?
I have a staff.
Or you don't know about
Why
that
do I
yet.
have a staff?
I see.
But I have a staff. It's written down on here. Can I?
It's there.
I guess it's like.
Apparently, you
split on
have
my
a staff. Okay.
back. I don't know. Like her hits are doing almost nothing. Will it take up a main action if I do something like that?
Depends on the action, potentially. You might. Now, remember, since we're running rules as written, Melissa,
Yeah.
you could also try to add, you could try to grapple it a second time. And then you'd have to try to break both grapples.
That's true.
You don't have to, but that is an option, is you basically start dogpiling on this thing.
She's gonna actually try to hit it again. She
Okay.
had already dropped her shield, so now she's gonna two-hand
You're two-handing
axe.
it. Okay.
And she's like, I'll just put more muscle into it.
Fair enough.
And since he's kind of sort of held down, he's a little less wiggly, hopefully.
In theory.
So, in theory, we will try
Okay.
for an attack.
Are those dice even smaller than are those smaller dice?
Yes.
I'm jealous. How?
Crumblies.
God fucking damn. It's a 10.
Okay. It slides off of the flesh. No surprise there.
I'm gonna weep.
Do you want to do you want to jam yourself in next to Farron?
She will physically block the door.
Like to make it harder? Yeah.
Yeah. Her
Okay.
hits are doing absolutely nothing. She will go and bodyguard that door.
Yeah, because basically at this point it'd have to try to shove at least one of you and potentially both of you out of the way before it could go through.
Yeah, I'm still right in front of it, so I assume both of us
It's
are
gonna have to
pretty much
fight.
making a wall in front
Yeah.
of that door at this
Right,
point.
because I
Yeah.
don't think I have anything else really for a bonus action.
The trap door, yeah, and you haven't been hit yet, so you don't even need to heal.
Right.
Okay. Gira, okay, Artexia, we're back to you. You still have this thing.
In my mouth. All right, so as I've noticed we obviously can see the thing cracking on the ceiling, right? It's starting to. I'm getting nervous. I'm going to use my smell and sight while he's still in my mouth and just look for a way to maybe possibly get out of the line of it falling, basically.
Make a perception roll.
One.
One.
Plus
What
six.
is happening?
Plus 6 away on the way. So perception on here though is only 3.
Yeah, because you're using that thing's perception. Okay, you're too caught up with the fiery dust and the
Alright.
and the taste of death in your mouth right now.
Okay, so then I'm going to take a few steps back with him in
taste
my
of evil.
mouth, just to get away from the door a little bit
Okay.
further. and
Okay, so you
then-
drag him further into the room.
Yes, and then I'll do an attack on him.
That's Kenzie. That's smart.
Why don't you put out the flaming column with the vampire?
Oh shit! I didn't think about that. Actually,
About the fire.
There's not much left, but you can rub his face in it for effect if you want to.
All ashy.
Okay, so you still have him grappled, and you're basically trying to crunch. You're trying to crunch down and snap some things. So go ahead and make an attack. And he's like, Yahoo!
Oh yeah, I forgot he was.
Yeah, because
summoning.
he's riding around on you right now.
He is having the time. of his
He's probably
six
loving it. He doesn't
again,
even know
double
anything
six.
bad is happening.
I'll let you keep that. You have to hit him first, love.
Oh yeah, you
have to
roll
damage him.
your D20.
You got to hit.
Oh.
So roll the 220s. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're
roll
gonna
the
hit,
220s. It's a little weird, but that's
You're
how the
gonna hit.
mechanics are.
All right, 16.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
So
That's
you.
very generous to let her keep her
whatever.
T6.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
because that's a really weird thing. 'Cause you would think you could just damage him each round now. Okay. So yeah. That flesh continues its resilience, but you're starting to get a little bit deeper into the bone, but you're not there yet.
Oh, bitch.
And Durgan, you're up.
Well, okay. First off, I believe you were correct about the leveled spell thing. So,
I will let it stand because I was not certain.
I will. I'm gonna do bless.
Okay.
Now, further uses of spiritual weapon don't count as like casting a spell, right?
No. It's and spiritual weapon is not concentration.
It is not.
So it's just
Nice.
on the field of battle now.
Use it.
Yep.
Yes, and I will. So
So there's a
I am
shimmering
going
golden
to-
hammer right now.
I'm going to put myself.
Hovering above it. Bonk,
I'm gonna
bonk.
add myself to the list of potential like impediments of getting up the stairs. So just kind of move me
Sure.
away a little bit.
Every bit counts.
Yep. I'm going to cast Bless
Okay.
on Artexia so that she can continue to hold this thing.
She's doing
Word.
On your one-woman wrecking crew
Hey.
over there.
On Gira. And on
Blessed. Okay. Dunk, dunk, dunk. All right.
and then I'm going to spiritual attack this visage.
All right. Hammer away. Does not happen.
What did you think about that?
It moved.
Did that?
It was cocked.
It was
It was
cocked.
I
and then
think he
it-
needs to re-roll because it was one thing he barely moved and it moved to another situation. It was like right on
It was cocked and it dropped on a.
Yeah.
Want me to roll it?
No, keep that because if it. Oh, well, tell me if that had been a 20, would you want to re-roll it? If the answer is yes, then re-roll it. Whatever you think is fair. Stay
It's a 20.
consistent.
It's a 20.
Oh well, then keep. Yeah.
You're trying to be fair.
Yeah, then keep it. That's fine.
Okay, cool.
Word.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. And that was the spiritual weapon. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you line up the perfect shot as Artexia has this thing pinned down, and bring the hammer down like right between its eyes. Crack! I believe that's force damage
Let's
too.
stay on
Yep,
this.
force damage.
Stay on
So
this
that's 7
train.
plus my spellcasting modifier.
Right. This is a good
4.
train.
We like this train.
We like this
That's
train.
12.
aboard.
And then I guess.
And
what,
then roll a die again. Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
That's another 7.
Nice.
19 total.
Amazing.
Nice, 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 nice,
That
nice, nice,
shit
nice, nice.
up.
Okay. You see some of that actually the head starts to cave in some,
yes.
and there's a dent, but it's still fighting.
F this guy.
Is the dad still at the top just like dripping blood right now?
What's that?
Is the dad still at the top just dripping blood right now?
You
No, it's on the end of the room.
yeah, you don't yeah, that you're not sure. I mean, there's a little bit of blood dribbling down there, but it might have just
Be
it might just be
leftover.
runoff. Okay. Morgathi sighs.
Useful.
He
Put out the. Oh.
it's pretty much she shattered it, so it's sputtering out. And
I feel like there was an eye roll along with that sound.
yeah, he sighs and okay. Frigidus, never mind. And a skeletal hand starts to develop, and it's nowhere even near that thing, and it just fizzles out, and it's a sad affair.
That's sad.
Jesus Christ, Morgathi, get it together.
like we're in a position.
Yeah,
I know, I'm like, come on, you haven't done anything helpful. As I burn the freaking place to the ground.
Why do you have the same spell every single time, Morgathi? Frigidus, whatever. Get the frick out of here.
It's a little less. Why don't you pull your weight, and a little more of like you're one of us.
Yeah. We're all fucked.
Some fights he's kicked ass, and this is not one of them.
He
Right.
is. in
This has been
plenty of
miserable.
company.
Okay, so this time as they're thrashing around, Finney's laughing. He's actually laughing as this happens. He doesn't care that the short sword slides off of his back. He finds
He is blessed. He has a D4.
He finds where the weak spot is that your hammer just made, and he shanks it with the dagger.
Nice.
Pretty good.
Nice.
Pretty good.
Finny.
7. And actually, I need
Right in the head hole.
to. Ooh, that was a nasty hit. Okay.
Yay.
The head hole. Okay.
I know, yeah.
And he starts to twist it around in the forehead now. You can
yeah.
hear some bone cracking
Yes.
in there.
If he holds it in place, I'll hit it with the hammer.
His brain.
And that seems to have woken something up in the creature. As you see, it starts to push
Oh, gross.
the dagger out, and then you see some of its face begin to reknit.
What?
Yeah.
It's the final stage of the boss whenever he like.
And it begins to heat, it begins to regenerate its wounds.
Oh, God.
Okay.
I don't like that.
Taking him 2/3 of the way down is what I'm hearing, because that's what everybody's finding. It is like that.
Well, and remember
At least
this.
the 50%.
Remember, this
Yeah.
thing had been starving for a year. It had been,
Yeah.
like barely making
Yeah, but it
it
also
for a year.
just fed.
Sometimes.
A little bit.
Smidgen.
A little bit.
Okay.
A blood point.
A little bit.
A single blood
Just
point
one.
for BTM. Yeah.
It's like, here's a
Farron. I feel like this is a chorus over here. You know, you guys are just kind of lined up. There's not a banister anymore, but
Right?
Farron presses her hands together, closes her eyes, and says, Kashtari, guide me. And uses Tides of Chaos to give herself advantage on this attack roll.
okay. Okay.
Ooh.
nice.
You see the ripple of the mana around you. You start to skitter through, and you get this weird. How often has she used Tides of Chaos before
She's never.
in her life?
Never.
Okay. So you have this weird feeling, and you start to see. At one moment, Artexia is over here with it. At one moment, it's kicked away. At one moment, Finney is re-jabbing it. At another minute, he's flying off of it. You see Durgan in a couple different poses, and it's all happening simultaneously. And that one, and you reach for the one that you want. Which one do you reach for?
She is reaching for hitting this thing with a ball of fire
Okay.
this time.
Okay.
Jeez.
Another chromatic orb.
Yep. She's determined.
Okay.
I'll take the 13 plus 6, so 19.
All right.
That hits it square in the back.
Sweet.
Yay.
Yeah, hit that sucker. I was determined that time. Oh, okay. 18.
18.
Nice.
That's a nice roast, Caitlin.
Good. I'm sure it smells great.
Yeah. Now of course it adds
Barbecue.
the stench of dusty undead flesh beginning to come up.
Is it like all in the air to the point where, because you said she was coughing earlier, like we're like it's thick, like the dust. It's hard to just take a deep breath.
You even your wolf wants to cough, but you know that if you open your jaws, this thing is going to be scrambling out that split second.
With my bonus action, I center myself again and thank Kishtari and create another spell slot for myself.
Okay, you take that mana, you turn it inward, and for a tiny brief second, there's a flicker of her wisdom's presence, even though you are so far from home, and then it's gone again.
I do, when she's there, even for a flicker, I try and like make eye contact, like lock eyes with her for a moment.
Make an Arcana check. That's pretty good.
16.
She's looking for you.
Thank God somebody is.
They're all looking for you right now.
Well, that's good to know. That's reassuring, at least.
Her wisdom does not suffer elves getting snatched. But perhaps even she doesn't know where you've gone.
Well, three of them will be okay then.
The rest of you, well, you know. Okay, Gira. I'm like the axe throwing competitions.
Great. This is not a hatchet, though.
No, it is not.
No,
She does not have
damage.
No.
I lost an ear.
But apparently she has a staff,
Apparently, she has a staff.
which we
It's
all.
like a traveling walking staff. I think that's all it is. I don't know.
Hey, it's a blunt force object, okay? Let's not downgrade
It'll
it.
be helpful at some point. I don't know what point. Yeah, she's definitely weighing in her mind. Block the door, because as soon as that grapple is lost, then this thing is making a beeline for the door.
Almost assuredly, yeah.
So she just feels like she's just really not effective against this thing. And she's gonna guard the door.
Okay. Do you want a rating in action?
Yes. So she'll actually pull out the other silver short sword that she also has on her side. So she's got a different type of weapon.
Yep.
And she's just gonna ready attack with both of those. She'll use her main action and a bonus action.
We knew from last time we can't do that because
I did that wrong.
yeah.
So there's nothing added to the offhand. I think it's just the weapon damage.
Both of them have to be light.
Oh, that's right.
Yep. That's where I messed up too. So
Erg.
There's probably a feet. Yeah, there's a feet.
There's a feat.
Get around that.
There's
There
a,
is.
yeah.
Yeah.
I can do that at some point. But she dropped her shield. She's not going to go walk down to pick it up.
Okay. I mean, you can still have the weapon out and have a different option because maybe silver works better on. You don't know yet.
She doesn't have another melee weapon.
We may need to remedy that.
I mean, a dagger, but
You could go short sword dagger.
she
get-
could.
and get
But
your
that
two
would
if
be
you wanted.
downgrading from the battle axe. But the battle axe wasn't effective. So yeah,
Right.
Okay.
she'll put up. She'll just take
Yeah.
the time to put up the battle axe,
Okay.
pull out the silver short sword in her main hand, and then the dagger in the offhand, just so she has something.
Okay. What were your battle techniques? Because you have them now.
I do. I have. If it's more of, if I can get down in the open area and this thing isn't grappled, then they're useful. But right now they're not useful.
The reason, because a lot of those, I don't know which one you got, but a lot of those will let you add the damage, the superiority to
I
add to
grabbed
the damage.
all of those.
Okay. All right. Okay.
None of them
She knows what
require.
she's up to.
None of them require a save.
You just may need more
So
juice.
yeah, I grabbed distracting strike, fainting strike, and sweeping attack.
All good. All good. Okay. All good.
But none
You're
of
up.
those work right now.
Okay, so
The star of the show. You have kept this. You have almost
Honestly.
single-podedly kept this thing here with a little help from Finney, but and a little help from the others, but
okay,
it would have been gone.
so
It still has not been able to get away from you.
again, I'm going to
Drag it some more.
drag it some more. First I'm gonna look around and use my sight and smell again.
Okay, I'll let you
see
try.
if I can. find another route to just to keep getting further away, because I just don't want to get backed into a corner or something. Fuck. All right, so 4 + 3, yeah.
Okay, you're not seeing much.
Yeah. Okay. So
You drag
in that
it.
case, I just keep stepping backwards.
You step on a crate. It splinters under you.
I pivot and throw him to the other side to use his gravity
Smash. Okay.
to stop me from falling into the hole. Maybe if there's a hole there.
No hole, but okay.
Alright, yeah.
I'll treat that. I'll flavor that as the attack. So go ahead and go ahead and roll the attack with advantage.
The 2 of these first. Okay.
Yep. And you're only getting advantage now because Finney's riding on you,
You also
Oh yeah. that's right.
and you're blessed. So you get
blessed, so you get a D4 on top of whatever roll.
whichever the better one is.
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
if you need it,
Oh shit.
you may need it.
Yeah, 6. And then it's the attack. What would you say?
This is the
Straight?
higher one.
It's +5 for,
yeah,
for that
plus
attack.
Do roll a d4.
So 11, and then roll the die 4 on top of that.
Oh, well, come on.
Oh gosh.
You got it. You got it.
Oh gosh.
4.
Yes. All right.
That's
all right.
exactly what you needed.
Oh, wow.
15. Okay.
You're saying this today, Kenzie.
Go ahead and roll.
Bless.
Roll that damage on.
Good call.
This is so stressful, guys.
I know.
10.
This is
10
going
total?
rough.
Yep.
And then +3 more.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got that 10.
I mean, most are just
Yeah.
hodoring.
Pretty much.
So now since I flip, would he now be on the other side of me versus instead of on that side near them?
Ish.
Ish. Okay.
Maybe I'll move him over here.
Okay.
All right. And Durgan, you're up.
First, I'm gonna spiritual
Okay, go for it.
his ass.
Bonk.
Bonk him in the head.
It's looking pretty ragged.
It's gonna hit, I would imagine. That's a 20.
So Mac.
And 7 damage.
7 damage.
Sorry, 6 damage.
Okay.
Someone should tell him that we're sorry before we kill him on the final blow.
You see some of the ash. Some of the ash now is him, as part of his face begins to dissolve. So he hit him here, and the jaw dislocates, and some of the cheek goes. As the magics that have held him, as the unnatural magics that have held him together begin to fray at the edges. What else, Justin?
All right, I'm gonna try guiding bolt again.
Okay.
Bolt.
Yes.
That's more like it. That's an extra 20.
That's a nat 20. So roll the dice again. So add them up and roll again.
And he rolled well too with the
Yeah,
dice.
decent.
That's gonna be a fat hit.
Yeah.
Nice.
17. 27, 28, 34.
Damn.
Oh boy.
So you're holding on to this thing for, tenaciously.
Yeah.
Having turned the tide, and you feel this massive amount, this wave of light. It should be heat, but it more just makes your jaws ache as it runs through, and you are obviously not the target of it. Mm-hmm. And you see this light absorb into its body. You know what happens too, Justin, because you've already seen this with the Dursts. When it goes deep inside of them and penetrates, and when it finally does that, you know what's about to happen. Do you say anything or do anything in that split second before the inevitable occurs?
He probably yells out, Lathander! Just as it comes, kind of almost like beckoning Lathander to land.
And this thing just explodes and disintegrates. And the last, Artexius, since you're the last person to see Doru, the voice of the Morning Lord, according to Sasha upstairs, there's just a huge...
Yeah, I was just saying I feel that right now. So
And,
yeah.
bloody tears running down his face at the end. And then golden particles of ash and nothing.
In that moment, a slight flicker of good hits me more than just being neutral, because I feel sadness for the father, but also happiness is gone. So.
Completely understandable. All right. That is where we will take our intermission, I think.
Yeah, I need to breathe.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Where we will take a sage stick to all of our deaths.
For real,
We'll do that. Faraway friends, thank you so much for being with us, and we will see you shortly at the other end. Bye. For now.
Eldritch Foundry is evolving. Bringing you a virtual army of miniatures like never before in full tabletop-ready color. Paint your miniatures in our upgraded creation tool, then bring them to life in stunning one-to-one detail as 3D printed miniature masterpieces. With complete control over your digital color scheme, you can point and click for simple color fills or go all in on highlights, shading, brush techniques, and more. Create epic heroes and madness-touched monsters that are truly yours. Miniatures are 3D printed in perfect color detail using a new PolyJet 3D printing process, giving you unique, bespoke models ready to delve into any dungeon as part of your next campaign. Everything from one-off player characters to dungeon mobs and boss-level monsters that will make every player in your group jealous. But that's not all. You can take things fully digital and export into leading VTT platforms such as Tailspire and Roll20 to take your games and your custom miniatures wherever you want. Join the adventure of a lifetime. Back our campaign today to help us bring this stunning revolution in custom miniature design to reality. With Eldritch Foundry, full-color 3D design and printing.
Greetings, weary travelers, and welcome to Constructed Chaos, a channel dedicated to all things D&D, including live play streams and podcasts, 3D printing, painting, crafting, homebrew content, and guides for players and dungeon masters alike. Join our Discord for even more special benefits, announcements, and free downloadable content. And until next time, go out there and make some chaos.
I have the honor of being Artexia Silverfrond, of a lineage that stretches back some 40,000 years. Indeed, my line began with the immortal leader of the elven people, and they came to the world of High Terra. Her title is Her Wisdom. It's not really much to live up to, is it? Thankfully, my grandmother left the capital of Ice's End and sought to return to the ancient ways of the Great Mother, who some call Gaia. She felt the elves of the grand cities had drifted too far from our ancestors' ideals of living in harmony with nature and honoring the Great Mother in quiet daily ways. She was not alone in this. Without any design to do so, she became first a known figure, then a leader of the forest-dwelling community I would come of age within. I have always followed my own path, seeking balance in all things. Each in its season is the beating heart of the understanding of Gaia that I know. I now also know that I am chosen, blessed with power directly from the Great Mother, and it was revealed in the battle for our freaking lives. In this cursed land that is now our prison, that balance is not so easy to see. Here I have only my own blood to remind me of home. What is this terrible presence I sense on the edge of my intuition? Is it the Dreadlord from the letter we found? The Strahd von Sadovich? Or something greater still? Yet another mystery to be solved if we ever want to leave this dreaded place. To die here would be unthinkable, so far away from the mother's embrace. I will walk the forest of my birth once more, even if I must tear my way across the entirety of this alien domain. Lunara Invicta!
our way, friends, we return. So, the dust,
Humbled.
We're just a little traumatized.
Very traumatized.
the dust settles, and you hear, I am so done with this place.
Oh yeah, you're the only one who's bothered. You're the only one having a hard time working.
I'm glad you finally understand.
Oh my god.
And what was it with you trying to kill me with that flaming turret of a column and chromatic orb or whatever the hell that thing was?
Yeah, that fire, that thing that actually worked against him when it hit him?
Yes, after it nearly hit me. And you hear from upstairs,
We've got other matters to tend to. I'm gonna try to get out
okay.
the trapdoor.
You're gonna have to get past me.
I assume you're not trying to stop me.
respectfully, yes.
You're just still like, ugh. No.
All right.
How do we make sure he does not come back?
Oh,
Didn't he burst into
there's
like
nothing left of
ash?
him. There's just golden dust.
Yeah.
You could get
Don't.
you could
I
get
think we
a
did
dustpan.
Okay.
Yeah.
That part we succeeded in.
That part's done.
I was just making sure.
That part's done. Artexia, are you gonna shape?
Wait, he's not coming
Well,
back.
I can't fit through the door, right?
Yes, you try to tear through the trapdoor and
Just
burst.
clamber up through the
Breaks
hole.
breaks the whole wall. It's already. Well, I mean, the thing is, it's my last shift, and he was way more effective in this shape. And if there's another one, then I should probably not shape back. So I'll try and squeeze through.
Don't get stuck.
You find you're gonna collapse that stairway.
Fine.
Okay.
I set back.
And as Morgathi walks by you, you see he's just kind of dejected, and perhaps surprising you a bit. He's like, "Yeah, that's about the way I feel too." And he doesn't really look at you. He just kind of shambles off. The long sword is dangling. His hand is like
Gara's gonna pat him on the shoulder as he
scraping on the
passes
ground.
because she opened the trap door and is like,
Yeah.
making sure everybody else gets out.
Finny was on top of me.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I was just gonna catch him and hold him. Yeah.
Hey.
Kind of like you, and whatever. I'm gonna set you down.
And as you catch him, he boops your nose and you put him down.
That is so cute.
And then Finny is a pig in slop, man. He just got to the bucking bronco, riding around on his bestie, slashing, digging a dagger into the forehead of an undead monstrosity. He's having a grand old
great.
time. So as far as he's concerned, he's like, "That was great, guys. Let's do it again." Wait, Father Donovich, you got some more? You got some more of these? And and
I will let you guys be the
so
correctors on that one.
Right?
you the group drags
I'm
itself.
trying to get right up to Donovan
Yeah,
to give him some sort of solace or something.
So you see the father just wailing, and you don't need to make an insight check on this, Justin. Durgan doesn't have any children of his own, I don't think. But you have seen dwarven parents losing their young before, and it's a terrible sight to behold. The elves too, because children are so rare, in these very long-lived species that, and the death of a child is so unnatural, truly unusual in High Terra. Something has to go just horribly wrong for that to not be reversible.
Is he collapsed on the ground?
Yeah, no, I mean, all that to say, there's something going on where, I mean, you haven't really been around humans when this, but there's like a complete, it's like the horrors of the last year are finally catching up to him. As he's compromised himself in every way.
I'll put the shield down, put the hammer down, and see if I can, get him to just hold him, as it were, maybe even make eye contact. Listen to me. Listen. He is with Lathander. He is with the Morning Lord. I promise you. I invoked his name as he passed. He's at peace. I swear to you. He is where he belongs. He's in a good place.
I smell the dawn on you. Make a persuasion check.
That is an 18.
So you see his hands come up, and there's that gray around them. And before you can stop him, because it's such a shift, he plunges the hands onto his chest, and you know, being a cleric of the Morning Lord, that he's attempting to use the power to take his own life. But instead, in an act of grace, it goes from this dilapidated, this dismal gray that he's fallen to, and you see that there is a small but visible flare of gold along the fingertips. So when he touches himself, instead of casting cause wounds on him and killing him, it actually fills him with a little bit of warmth. That wasn't him.
Your son, he's in a good place. He will see you again someday.
My son died a year ago.
Aye,
And I have been feeding a monster
you were a father.
with his face.
Things have been set right. I know it doesn't make it not hurt. But things are where they should be. I'm very sorry for your loss, brother.
Brother. Ismark Kolyanovich. I am here, Father. We need to lay Kolyan and Dirovich, your father, to rest, do we not? We do, Sasha says. Looks...
Father, if it's all the same, I'd be honored to do the ritual if you want.
Nonetheless, I should be there.
Aye?
But you are also a chosen of the Morning Lord. I see that clearly now. Do any of your flock need tending to? I feel his grace amazingly in my bones. Were any of you injured?
Nay. Somehow we were watched over. No, we're okay.
And then the rest of the group is kind of filtering.
Pretty hungry though, honestly.
Oh, I think I have some bread in my chambers over there, child. You're
No problem. Do your thing.
welcome to it.
I'll find it.
Yeah. And Sasha, seeing that the father's taken care of, trots up over to you. Are you okay?
Just shaking up a bit and need to regain energy some way.
Here, I have some bread that I made, and he hands it to you, and some of the cheese.
I just think, this fucking cheese again. I'm like, all right, thank you. Thank you. I don't say anything. I know it's a dark time. I just take it and I just eat.
And the bread tastes like a dawn never seen, as this child's whatever makes him is somehow transmitted through the bread.
It's the one with the golden eyes or whatever, right? Why am I gonna cry right now? Because the bread is that good.
And he's just looking, he's staring at you, and you see those eyes just wide open, and he smiles, and you can feel the joy that your joy is bringing him right now.
Oh.
And he actually hugs you.
And I'm like, I don't accept it at first because it's like a shock, I guess, because we just went through this whole freaking battle. And I'm like, and I take the pad and I said, thank you. And I just
And as his arm slide off of you, he whispers to you, "I'm glad you're small like me." Because both of you are tiny, you know.
I wave the bread.
Yes.
Take a bite. Walk away.
He eats too much, and he points to his big ass hoss of a brother.
I think he eats the proper amount.
And Ismark seeks you out. Gira, you're fine, uninjured.
I am uninjured.
Of course, a skilled warrior like yourself. I'm sure you defended.
I didn't get as many hits as I would like, but
Yeah, one never does. And he's watching you. Is your companion okay? Was she hurt? As he looks over to Artexia, kind of having a moment.
and I don't think any of us were actually hurt.
Huh?
A little tired, but
I have to say it felt completely wrong to be sitting up here, even though what you said was correct, and of course my first duty, I have to guard Sasha, but he can't protect himself, not really, not yet. But I hate the fact that you went into battle without me at your side. It feels wrong.
I would have been honored and appreciated your presence, but you were where you were needed.
Thank you for...
That is always the first mark of a warrior, to be where you are needed.
I'll remember that. Okay.
You're so cute.
And what is your...
Oh wait, he was hitting on her, right?
Yeah.
About that.
Yeah. That whole
I
thing.
know I had that whole time. Okay.
And your father, is he outside still?
Yes, Durgan, he has come. We
must attend to him.
Aye. So, the group wheels, and a somewhat shell-shocked, but slightly more present Father Donovich, kind of limps out there with y'all, a little bit behind. He's slower than y'all, but you get, several of you retake, I'm going to say the same characters, retake up the casket that had the former burgomaster in it, and you enter into the cemetery, into this oversized, to your eyes, to your High Terran eyes, this oversized. The cemetery is much larger than the church, which is really like a glorified chapel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The cemetery is like huge compared to the relative size of this little chapel.
Farron's not that particularly interested in whatever ceremony they're going to perform, so she will remain somewhat nearby, but instead is going to wander the rows and look at the names on the gravestones, see if there's anything she recognizes, and just try to pick up as many names as possible to be kind of learning the names of the people around here, get some more information that way.
Let me stay with you for just a moment. As you start going down the rows, it's a really good idea, Caitlin.
I had something I wanted to do too.
No, we're gonna turn to that. You probably realize, what's your character's intelligence? It's fairly high.
16.
Yeah, you don't have to roll for this.
Nice.
You have devices, various different kinds of runes and stones that are very standard, so that basically anybody who cares to can communicate with anybody else in your world. But you don't have any of those with you, and besides, these languages wouldn't have been programmed into them. And you realize you probably shouldn't be able to read the local writing, and yet you can.
Well, that's unsettling.
Yeah.
As you're looking through, I suppose this would be an investigation roll, whatever her best intelligence skill is. If it's not investigation, she has a different one, because really this should be in your training under a diplomat.
Yeah, she has proficiency in investigation.
Yeah.
So we'll do that.
Go for that.
That's nice.
That is nice.
It's only a 12, though.
Okay. You start to see a pattern. Obviously, you don't know these names, but you start to see a pattern in them. if you sit down and like mull it over, you may be able to. It's almost like a word puzzle. As you're looking through, and there is a definite flow to them, but you haven't put your finger on exactly what that is yet.
Okay. That's how she'll spend this entire
majority of
time, and she'll try to remember as much as possible so she can chew on it that night or something.
The last thing I'll say about this is you also see quite a few small graves here, which is shocking to your sensibilities. As rare as death is in High Terra, as I said earlier, children dying is almost unheard of there. It's only in case of some like freak disaster or something like that could happen. And then I was looking up the wording for Tides of Chaos, and I almost want you to roll, but I don't want you to learn this chart, so...
Wait, for Tides of Chaos or for...
Yeah. So anytime before you regain the use of this feature, the DM can have you roll in the Magic Wild Surge table.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Oh, no, it's immediately after you cast a sorcerer spell, a first level higher. Okay, so no. You can feel that you dipped your toes into bending reality, and now reality wants to bend back on top of you.
Sexy.
So
She likes
it's waiting.
it.
So it's basically waiting like a wolf,
She's all about it.
like a paradox wolf. Okay.
Generating paradox.
Yep. Basically. Okay, so you lead them out. The two brothers seem to know basically roughly where to take their father. They look back instinctively. They look to Father Donovich, and when he doesn't do anything, they look to you. And there looks like a plot where maybe family members, you assume, were born, or were born. Were laid to rest. Yeah, were buried. Maybe that's a Freudian slip. Perhaps reborn out of there.
No.
Fingers crossed that we're not going to deal with that right now.
And you see a couple names. Two women's names in the immediate area.
Ismark, with your permission and a little extra time, I'd like to add an extra protection to your father's body. To keep it from... Well...
Durgan, the Morning Lord himself has placed you in my path, of course.
I will do what I can to protect him.
Thank you. Without waiting, Sasha drops down to both knees and begins praying over it.
I will require that I open the casket for just a moment. Right.
And I'm picturing the rest of you like loosely
Scattered about.
and just making sure, aside from Farron, you can see where Farron is at, so she's not going to get picked off, unawares. It is pretty foggy, and you were hoping that the fog would clear, or that as you got closer to what you know should be noon, that you'd have more light. But really, it's just more of this gray. It's a bit more gray. That's it. As the day marches on.
Farron would have her lights up then so she could see the
Okay.
stones really well, and that would help them kind of have a better idea of where she's at.
That's a good idea. Okay.
So...
Is there already, like, a grave dug?
No. You're going to have to dig. You have to dig a grave.
First, well...
That's the real reason I left.
I'll hear left.
And to
Avoid manual labor.
And to that point, you see Ismark rooting around. He seems to know this area, unfortunately, pretty well.
Because she wants to feel useful, so she would be like, "Can I start digging while you guys?"
He chucks you, and as he finds a pickaxe, he without even saying anything, he just chucks a shovel over to you, then goes over and starts, because the ground is stony and hard, so he starts just tearing in, and gouging up, loosening the dirt up, and then you can start digging behind him.
Scoop it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so Durgan is going to spend 10 minutes doing a ritual casting of Gentle Repose. So, some symbols and whatnot kind of around the casket, maybe any kind of little scents, oils, what have you, that need to kind of go about it.
I have a feeling this is not going to be the last time we do this. So why don't you come up, not right now, but yeah, just come up with a little sermonette or something that he would be chanting or however that goes.
And then he's going to try to say some words too.
Yeah.
That for the eulogy.
Okay. And General Repose prevents them from rising as undead, I believe.
Yes, it does.
Which is kind of important here.
You might want to do that.
So yeah, he basically some salt, some copper pieces placed on the corpse's eyes, which is why he has to open the casket.
Right.
Okay. So basically, touch the thing, the corpse. Okay, it's protected from decay and can't become undead. And the spell also effectively extends the time limit on raising. But
Yeah. Doesn't. Okay. The important thing is not undead.
yes, the important thing is not undead.
The salient point here. Okay. As you finish, and then it's 10 plus levels, so it's actually 11 minutes because General Repose is level 1. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. As you conclude the chanting, and you finally do manage to get the Morning Lord's attention, presence enough, kind of through that a gentle beseechment, and you feel in subtle ways and quiet, unremarkable ways, and yet quite important, the power of your deity flowing through your faith enter into the body of Kolyan and Dirovich. And it doesn't make him look more lifelike, but there's just a touchless clamminess and a tiny little sense of ease in the immediate area. Sasha's eyes open when you finish, and he looks over. Oh. And then looks up at you. And what do you say?
Let me just go through the...
Yeah.
We gather today to say farewell to a soul who followed Lathander, the Morning Lord. With a heart full of light, and like the dawn that breaks the darkest night, they brought hope and warmth to all who knew him. And each day was a fresh start in their eyes, a chance to lift others up and face the world with courage. And though they've passed from this world, their spirit rises with the sun. Held close by Lathander himself, will remember them for their kindness, their strength, and the light that they brought to our lives. And he kind of just is looking over at everyone kind of one by one. And as the Morning Lord teaches, every end is but a new beginning. Their light will guide us still, even in their absence, and may their soul rest in the eternal dawn. And he'll just kind of...
Could I be half sleeping while he does this to like rest up?
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Sure, you're dozing.
you're
You're
sleeping.
dozing.
I'm dozing.
You're dozing. Yeah, you look like you're really taking it.
She is mourning over there.
Leaning against something.
The two brothers leaning against a tombstone somewhere. The two brothers bow their head, and you just hear Father Donovich mumble, "Well done," and keen to get this over with. Ismark, because it's impeding him a little bit, he strips off his armor and throws it
gets
down.
a little view.
and you see his broad shoulders, his powerful arms.
I was wondering how long he was going to keep that on.
No, because the sweat was coming down. That kind of almost, it's not ash blonde, but it has I don't know exactly how to describe it, but the light blonde hair, but it's kind of like thin hair, where he does have a lot of hair, but because it's thin enough, it just kind of mats down on his head.
Really fine.
Really fine as the sweat starts flowing.
Hair's fine.
And then so yeah, he finds a second shovel in an attached shed, and then trots back over and just starts going crazy on that, and you make relatively short work of a difficult task. As this is happening, Farron, you're at a pretty good vantage point from the rest of the group. As you're looking over, and you see a fog not a greenish mist, but a fog begin to roll in, and it looks like it's just gonna hit and cover. And you can see this; they really couldn't because of how they're positioned, but you off to the side, and you see it's a little bit weird because it's mainly gonna cover them and back, and maybe a little bit of the church too. You're unaffected by it because of where you're at in the cemetery.
Is it close enough that I can send my lights
How
direction?
60 feet, I think, right? That you can send.
120.
Oh, 120.
Oh,
okay.
sheesh.
Yeah, you're close. You're close enough.
Okay.
I think I was going to say 60, not quite, but yeah, 120 you can. So you send it off and you illuminate that, and as there's just a moment where you all have this kind of cold, clammy mist roll over you. If anything, it's actually a little bit bracing, a little bit. I don't want to go crazy and say refreshing. This is Barovia after all, but
It's probably refreshing for people digging.
but for the people,
They're like,
right.
a nice breeze.
But for the people digging, Sasha shivers a little bit. The father doesn't seem to notice. Durgan, you feel it, but you're pretty.
It's pretty focused.
You're pretty. You're pretty on task right now. And you hear Morgathy slowly cursing under his breath. Again, you forcing Elvin to do things that really shouldn't be able to do. And then the mist rolls over. Make a perception or investigation check.
I'm gonna do investigation again. Okay. That's a natural 1. Today is just not my dice day, okay, guys? I just
Okay.
give up. Excuse you.
Since you specifically, because I know what's happening there, obviously, since you specifically sent the lights in, this really is something you should be able to see no matter what, at least something. So here's what I'm going to say. Some of the dust irritated you, and now you're like, it's just really there, and you're kind of hacking, and so you miss almost everything that goes on from your excellent vantage point. But as you look over and you kind of recover from your coughing fit, for just a moment, you swear that your lights are illuminating a tall, almost even a regal figure with a sense of power and understated majesty to it in the mists. And then it's gone. Definitely male
Love that.
What's his face?
from the outline.
The Vonders.
It's a dude. He said it was a dude.
Is that not Vonders?
It could be, you never know.
That's his new name now, Vander.
And you should have been able to get a look, et cetera, but it was just
sure
a
didn't.
suggestion.
I just got a creepy
You
dude.
just got a creepy dude.
Okay.
And then the mist does finish rolling past them, almost like a mist on the moor. And it's continues to roll down, even though there's not a grade, as though there was some sort of grade here.
I'll head back toward them just since that gave me a little bit of the creeps. Want to make sure nothing bad's going on over there.
Okay. And then I would say, let's see, Artexia, you're kind of taking this opportunity. So, of the group, I guess Finny would be the only other one, but Finny is not. Finny's...
What is Finny doing?
Yeah.
He's watching, and you
Playing hide and seek with himself?
that... Actually, I like that better. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Where am I?
I can see you. No, I can't see you. I can't see you.
No, he was gonna. He was bored for a while, and
Yeah.
then he figured out.
No, really?
Yeah, I know you're shocked.
That's so unlike him.
And then he figured out that he could play hide and seek with himself. And so he's repeatedly using cunning action to hide.
That is so
And
cute.
then trying to use a perception
I
check
hate him
against
so
his own
much.
body,
Oh my god.
which only makes sense to him. But there you
Do
are.
I
Yeah.
perceive myself?
This is the safe for work hide and seek myself, right?
Yeah.
And then
Parenting tip: when you need your kids to entertain themselves.
so
Can you hide from yourself?
Morgathy says, "I don't." As Gira and Ismark are nearly finished, He says, I don't know that it matters, but what's her face from the Blood of the Vine? She's been skulking about, kind of sitting around that corner of the church. I don't think she knows that I spotted her yet. You were kind of wrapped up, and it looks like she's, like, the lady over there is taking a little snooze. Those two are busy. Farron is doing Kishtar Lunara only knows what over there. So, having an extended moment. And, so, I thought some adult in the room, he watches as Finney's like, where are you? Where are you? Should know this. Alenka, right? Wasn't that her name?
Hey.
The one who was harassing Ismark. Anyway, there she is. Do you want me to do something about her? Or do we just pretend that we don't see her and move on with life?
Honestly, I think I need to do something with our Father Donovich here. If he is not capable of doing this in the future, that could be real bad for this town. I need to make sure that he's on an even keel.
He looks at him. Really looks at him. You're not wrong. To be perfectly frank, cleric, I'm kind of impressed you got him out of there. I'd have written him off as hopeless, unsalvageable.
Given what he's been through, I give the man credit for the amount of internal fortitude he must have.
I don't have children, so I wouldn't know, but I suppose so. Undead.
I
An entire valley of them?
suppose I have a feeling this place is crawling with him.
I keep wondering if her wisdom felt the disruption in all the various defensive grids. We were near the capital. Or if this just slipped right on under anyone's notice. Do they even know we're gone yet?
I certainly hope so.
Do they still think we're traveling?
And she can't hear y'all right now.
No,
right?
she's too far. Yeah, she's a little
walking
too
back.
far. You see them having a conversation, but yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to do what I can to see what I can do to help whatever it is your magic's work here.
Well, I was stupid. I should have buried my nose into that book as long as it took last night. I'm not going to make that mistake again. Clearly what I'm using here is just not going to cut it. And now there's something in that book that is different. I know it's not the same as my standard bag of tricks.
Did you find something of use, you think?
I think so. I think I can use it. Well, better than being out doing absolutely nothing and swinging a damn sword around.
And what you need is time.
I do. I don't know if we have it.
Well, make it.
There are some spells, dwarf, that can pierce dimensions.
Aye.
I've been thinking about which ones and how we can send up a flare from this hellhole. Because surely the Shining Host would come and rescue us if they knew that we were being held against our will. If they knew where. So, I'm just saying that's top of mind. If I can find... I don't know if astral projection would work, or... I'm thinking it through.
Hey, now that brings a little joy and light and hope into my life.
I'm not ready to lie down and die here. This is not where he looks around this withered graveyard. This is not where my story ends. You get back to
He kind of smirks a little and nods, kind of like, proud of what Morgathy is saying.
Did you give your little speech?
All right.
Aye.
You've cleared the space. Ismark helps you, gives you a boost out, and then and there's a nice little hole there. And you slide the casket, and almost wordlessly, you take some more ropes from the shed, from the gardening shed, and then low Kolyan and Dirovich down to his final resting place. Artexia, because of how things are developing, why don't you make this insight roll?
19.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, plus 4, so that's 23.
Holy cow. 23?
She's feeling insightful.
And I'm half awake too, bitch. Don't even try me.
Yeah.
She's in that half meditative.
Yeah, you are.
She's so relaxed. Her insight is
Nice
just
and
not
relaxed.
there.
You know, when she's not trying to eat a
the
vampire,
graveyard.
she's got some,
And you, as you begin to feel your Gaian energies rekindle and recharge inside of yourself, in the span of a very little time, you've gone from never having wild shape to going crazy with it.
Yeah.
Your eyelids flutter open. You see little Sasha, and you see him looking at his father's being laid to rest. You remember Ismark, his older brother, saying, "We've lost mother, we've lost sister." You see the 2 graves next to them, and you know who's in those graves. And you know that there is a great dam inside of this boy that's going to break at some point, but it hasn't broken yet because he's just staring off, and it's almost like there's no recognition in those remarkable eyes of his as to just whom is being put down in the dirt now. He's not stone face cold, but it's like he's watching a neighbor.
Right.
It's quite removed. Whereas Ismark seems to have no scruple. I mean, he's stone-faced, but tears are just running down his face, and he's watching every single second of it. And you, Gary, you can see this, and with your 23, you catch this from the older brother too. He's forcing himself to burn this into his mind's eye, so he never forgets this and what's become of his father.
Interesting.
And he's a couple deep breaths, and then he looks at you, and you start shoveling and the dirt back on top of his father.
I since I'm staring at the boy, I assume he's also within ear reach. If I say something to him, he can hear me.
You're the closest one. I'm gonna say, you're the closest one to him. And I don't think with that 23, like you look like you're just in a light doze right now. Probably most people don't even know you're tracking anything right now.
Okay. So then I probably shouldn't say something then if it's like
if you want to.
I was just gonna say, hey boy. You see this often? You seemed kind of numb to all of this.
Too many times to count. But I'm just thinking, now at midnight, I wonder if I'm going to see my father join the procession.
What do you mean at midnight? What happens at midnight?
Sometimes I come and I look at the window. And I look for mother, and I see her. And I look for sister, and I don't see her. She didn't die. She died of fever. And I see all the heroes, and all the chosen, and all the ones who came before, who tried to fight him every night, and every night they fail. And I wonder if, because he was struck down, is father like sister, or is father like mother? And will he walk amongst them now? I don't know yet.
It all makes sense now. He's confused, trying to make sense of all of this.
You see him swallow. And when he steps back, so you're actually there the moment where he looks down. He kneels down, and there's a beautiful, stemmed, glistening with thorns, black rose.
Just appeared?
It's been there, ? But it couldn't have been. Not this whole time. And it's not in bloom yet. And by any law of horticulture, it never should be because it's been cut.
Yeah.
but it's there.
Oh, is he taking it? Okay.
He reaches down to it, unless you're quick. You snatch it?
Yes.
Okay, since you hesitated a little bit, make a dex roll. Make a sleight of hand.
Yeah.
5. You said sleight of hand?
I think you're a little too slow. Okay. So this is one of those what if moments.
Yeah, no.
Where it comes, and then, because he's moving like in a dream, he picks it up. Izzy, look what I found. And Ismark doesn't hear him the first time. Izzy, look what I found. And Ismark looks and kind of, then he becomes aware of himself. And you see the moment he becomes aware of himself, that he's covered in dirt and he's been sweating and he's been crying and he doesn't have armor on. And he kind of shakes himself out of it, wipes the grime off of his face. Sasha, what do you, and then all of you see this glistening, almost hyper glossy, like unnaturally glossy black rose that's there in this boy's hand. Ow. It still has thorns.
I look around because I see blood dripping anywhere, and I look around just to see if there's anyone that's going to come after us after that blood happening.
Make a perception check. And Morgathi says, haven't you heard, Sasha? It's a rule of the universe itself. Every rose has its thorns.
9.
Okay. You're so focused on battle on this day that you're not really looking at your environment like normal.
I'm looking at the rose a little bit, and I say, maybe he brought it. Whoever rolled in with that fog.
Ismark says, Varen, what do you mean?
From over there, I could see the fog roll over you, which is why I sent my lights over here, and I thought I caught a glimpse of a man.
Could you make him out?
It was just a split second, but definitely a man, tall, regal looking. Hopefully not your big bad guy from his castle, but certainly looked like some kind of man was here.
He instinctively looks up, and you see, up in the mountaintop, far, far away, but definitely visible, the massive structure of what you now know as Castle Ravenloft. That's nearly 1,000 feet up, and has a commanding view of all underneath it, including this village. Lord of Light, I certainly hope not.
Sasha, Ismark, is that flower something you're used to seeing?
No. I know the flowers around here quite well, and I've never seen it before, but isn't it beautiful?
Perhaps. Morgathi? Varen? Well, actually, any of you. Does this look, nefarious to you?
Oh, I don't know. A black rose rolls in on a mist with a regal man giving it on the day of this boy's father's funeral. I don't have to cast Detect Magic to say hell yes.
Is it poisoned?
Can I see that thing? You're not going to go all dog on a bone on me, are you? No, I am not even sure to... Please, you have dogs here, don't you? Well, yes, but... And so Sasha, with a little bit of reluctance, hands it over to Morgathi. That's a good boy. That's a good boy.
Kira's gonna come over and look at it. She's got proficiency in survival, so she might actually...
He looks around and he,
glean something from it.
He says, well, certainly, you can see the shimmer on that thing. I don't have to cast any Dweomer to know I suppose I'll go through the motions. I don't think it's anything active, per se, but it was definitely grown with the use of magic. And that much I'm certain of.
May I see your finger, lad? The finger.
It's just a tiny cut.
Hey, that's all it takes. Let me see it, please.
He looks at his brother, and his brother nods.
Okay, I'll just make sure that there doesn't seem to be
Any nastiness going on with the finger. So go ahead and make you can make a survival check. It would be nature would be kind of more on point.
Okay.
Are you just trying to
try
run?
that.
Okay. Yeah. So make a nature
I
check.
don't have proficiency in that, but if that's what it is, then.
I'll let you make a survival roll too if you want to try to see if there's anything like that in High Terra as you kind of go through your travels. Just to make a medicine roll.
It's a good nature.
You want nature or survival?
Nature first.
19.
19. Okay.
16.
So I'll adjudicate hers first. You're looking through, and as you watch, there's a slight motion that doesn't make sense to you. And you got me.
I share.
You share.
Aww. Caleb.
And you see the rose, even though it's been cut,
Yeah.
you see it slowly trying to unfurl. Almost as slow as like the moon going across in the evening.
Okay.
So it's something that you only notice because of this unnatural shimmer to it, this extra layer of beauty and radiance to it, of dark radiance to it. And that's a high enough roll. This would have stuck out. This absolutely doesn't exist in your home.
Okay.
And apparently it's not a normal thing here either.
Great.
I don't know why it's so shiny, but it is slowly opening.
It is?
You have to watch it for a moment.
Wow.
Maybe from like afar. I don't know.
Does it give off any kind of like vibes?
How are we
I don't know.
vibing with the rose?
How are you vibing with
I
the
have
rose?
no arcana.
Can we roll for vibes?
I'm not a magic-y person. All I've got are my vibes.
A vibe
I'll
check.
do a vibe check.
You do a vibe check?
I'll do a vibe check. Do you want arcana?
Sure. A little vibe check with the rose.
Ismark,
Aye.
can I speak to you in private, please?
Only a 6 on the vibes.
You
I give up rolling dice for the day. I'm just gonna
answer unclear, check back later.
stop. What is it, a magic 8 rose?
It is. Okay, so he steps. The older Koyanovich brother steps aside with you.
Given what you told us before, something like that being something that could do something with your brother. I just want to make sure that we're covering all the bases, making sure that we're not missing something too mundane. This would be the time when you and your brother are grieving to strike quietly, especially if what Farron said before and your instincts about it being, who up there took interest in all of this.
Damn it. I'm going to have to tell him to leave it behind, aren't I?
I don't know that a black rose is the kind of thing you really want on your house anyway, is it?
He turns and just kind of with a resigned look,
Ismark, one last thing.
turns back.
I know you're trying to protect your brother by not telling him, but I don't know that you're going to not be able to tell him something for too much longer.
He doesn't answer you. He just stares at you.
Just think about it.
Sasha. I don't like that tone, Izzy. I know what it means.
Sasha,
What?
you know what I'm going to say.
Yes and no.
And Finney perks up when he hears that particular tone.
He's like,
Finally, something interesting. Yeah.
I just picture it comically. I know it's like in my head, but like Finney just rising behind a tombstone.
A tombstone. Yeah.
Evolution! His interest is piqued.
And Sasha,
No. This was left for me. This is my present.
no.
This is a present for father. Yes, someone is paying him respects.
and you should leave this on his grave.
Aye. It'd be the right gesture, lad.
That sounds a little bit like a fib, Izzy. But you might be right. Gira, since Durgan is giving him the aid action, why don't you make a persuasion check for Ismark? With advantage. Roll a persuasion check.
I know in her head she was going with a totally different angle, so this is like, all right, if that's the way they want to play it.
Yeah, go ahead.
She's kind of, I'm gonna say she kind of steps up next to him and just kind of like elbows him. Oh wait, I missed something.
Yeah, no. I was asking you to roll for the NPC.
Okay.
He's kind of attached himself to you, so with advantage because Durgan is effectively giving him the aid action.
That's a 9 on the die.
Okay, roll again.
What? My dice being just...
This room is cursed.
That's a
Sage.
4
We have
on the
Curse of
die.
Strahd. We have a
Curse of Strahd.
All right, try these dice now
Curse of dice.
instead today. Maybe the pandas will give you good luck.
Lucky panda.
So
As I get lost in the pendulum.
he starts to be irrationally stubborn, and he clings to it in an almost childlike way.
Sorry, guys.
And now Finny looks at him, looks at you, and he goes up and he says, Sasha, my name's Finny, and I'm not sure if I introduced myself before anyway. And, I know sometimes the bigs tell you a lot of things, and it can be really hard, and it can be really confusing, and sometimes it just seems like they want to suck the fun out of everything. But in this case, because he was giving you, but in this case, it's probably for the best because there's a lot of dangerous stuff. And I tell you what, I promise you, I'll find you something even prettier than that. I'm really good at finding things.
That is true.
Prettier than this?
The only thing
Finny
better at
finds
finding
the
good
best
things or pretty
presents.
things is getting pretty things.
Snaps for that one.
Gira is actually going to go up to Sasha.
And he seems kind of like he's considering
Kind of
it.
kneel. Is he still like sitting on the ground or is he?
He stood up at one point, yeah.
Okay. She's going to go over and she's not going to try to take anything. From what I have seen, people who give presents but don't reveal who they are, they're not usually present. Not in a good way.
But look how pretty this is.
Which is why they gave it to you without telling you who they were.
Artexia, did you mean what you said? That I had talent?
You do.
Do you think I have enough talent that I could, if I left this with Father, that I could draw this later on?
Only if you believe in yourself enough.
And then he looks at the rose and really, holds it up to what little light there is, scans it with an artist's eye, brushes it against his cheek to feel it.
Okay. I don't have to keep it. I'll leave it here.
And then he walks over.
Goodbye, Father. Maybe I'll see you soon.
And
I do a deep bow
down.
to acknowledge his father as well. And I walk next to him and go sit over there.
And Father Donovich just looks at you and nods wearily. I'm going to sleep now. If you need me, come back tomorrow. And
I will come back in tomorrow and check on you.
very well. Yes, I think I would appreciate that. But are you aren't you leaving? And he looks at Ismark, and Ismark kind of looks uncertain. I had thought to leave today, but
What time of day is it going to be?
I mean, it's still in the morning, but it's like late morning now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will look right at him and say, I'm going to need rest again after what happened down there before we make any kind of journey.
All right. Then I suppose we've held out this long. We can hold out one more night, right?
Hey,
We may not be damaged, but it is not wise to begin a journey this tired. Unless it's necessary. And she'll kind of look at him. Almost like this questioning look in her face.
Excuse us, Father. Thank you. And he gives him a bow, and Donovich just kind of nods and then starts schlepping back to the church. Friends, I know this is it's a difficult decision. I just, given, it's okay, Izzy. I know what happened. I was there. He looks at his brother. If we are attacked, you are ready for this? There may be wolves or worse. But the one thing that is good is that this thing that poor Doru, that he became, they have to have permission of the owner to enter. So that at least cannot come in. Does that make sense?
It can't come into the house unless you tell it it's okay to come into the house.
Someone who lives there, so myself or Sasha, yes.
So it wouldn't work if I was just standing at the door.
No, if you were in one of your moods, Farron, it wouldn't work. Some sort of rite of hospitality, I suppose. Interesting. Of course, that was Morgathi. And
That makes camping in the wilderness much more dangerous then.
To that point, you think it's actually safer to be moving on?
I do. Yes, because of... And he looks up to Ravenloft. Something in this Droz and all of that. Clearly, as you said, we have caught this thing's attention now. In a very personal way. I do not know. I was praying to the Morning Lord that this ended with my father. But I am not stupid nor naive.
No.
It goes deeper than that.
It's very obvious. It is so much further spread in this land than I can even imagine. I feel it in my soul.
If I do not doubt that, my lady. If we are lucky, the Vistani, some of them, they're not all like Alinka. Some of them remember where they came from and still have a shred of nobility inside of them. And they travel. They are the only people who are permitted or know how to roam freely, but over freely. There is a fall, Zur Falls. It would be difficult to reach now, but maybe we could before nightfall. Maybe it would be, maybe not.
Wait. So there's some of them that don't go insane for the bloodlust, like the one we just killed?
I wasn't down there, but I presume you were dealing with a vampire?
Well, at least what we know of.
Yeah, from what we know.
Then, no, the Vistani are Alinka's people. The rude woman who was over at the tavern, who finds it my predicament very amusing. She and her sisters, they are Vistani, but not all of them are like her. Some of them are decent folk. They keep to themselves, but they roam and all of that. And it's a long story right now, but one of them helped our sister and was kind to Sasha and all of that. So I know this to be true. I'm saying that they have a camp at these falls, and I believe we could go there, at least for some sort of shelter and maybe advice.
And you believe the worst we'll encounter is some wolves? Because I'm just telling you, there's only so much I can do before I rest again.
I'm not chosen, so I don't know I just have to take it that your weariness is deep.
I still have a bow, arrows, a little bit more I could do, but if you believe it's safer for us to get out of here faster, we can go.
I agree.
Just know I won't be at my best.
I like a good walk.
Then I think we should leave. But I'm willing to stay if it's needful.
Nope, that's all you had to say. I'm going. We need to go. I have a feeling, I've had a feeling this whole time, and him just saying that, we need to go.
All right. Couple of things to take care of then.
I do have gear for travel. We've been preparing this for a long time. And my grandfather, he, the traveler, Ismark the Traveler, who I'm named after, he went everywhere.
Is it far?
Ismark, do you have any, I don't know, texts of on your property that uses of magic and the like?
Very little. What do you need?
A friend over here, and he kind of motions towards Markathi, could probably make use of them. And if you're going to be leaving the house anyway,
Yeah.
it could help protect us if there's knowledge or something in there that could be of use to him.
I don't think so, but I'll look in Father's study before we leave.
All right.
We're going back anyway. Let Morgathi peruse the books and see if he finds anything useful.
I do need to let the father know that we're not going to be here.
Of course.
All right. I'll be right behind. Catch up with you. Unless anyone wants to come with me for a few.
Since I took my little rest and whatnot, I'm feeling good enough.
You feel your Gaian energy's restored.
Yes, I'm gonna let them
continues.
gather their things while I just keep an eye out while they're gathering. But I assume it's going to be quick, right, y'all?
Well, he's about to go off to tell the father that he's not coming at dawn. So are you going to go off with him?
Yeah.
So he's not alone. Okay. Okay. And then the rest of the group is going to head back to the Kolyanovich house.
Yeah,
Together.
Gear is pretty much ready to go. She just used her action surge, so she might take a little short.
As long as you
nap
can get a
while
short, as long as you
everyone's
can,
gathering stuff.
as long as you can get a short rest in, yeah, you can get that back.
Yeah.
Okay. You're the one who's hurting.
Yeah.
I'll let him know. Hey.
Yeah. No, you did.
So we're not pained though. You're just tired, right? I don't need to heal you or anything.
Yeah.
I just won't have as many spells.
And
as
if I use
would
it, and
like.
if none of my healing
other things I
stuff
can do.
will
Is that a long rest?
allow her to regain.
Not that kind of exhaustion. No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Down the road, perhaps, but yeah.
Right,
no,
right now,
Not
yeah.
at this point.
Okay.
Okay. You go in, and the father, with a semblance of his old self, without turning around. I have a lot of cleaning up to do around here, don't I? Because remember, it was trashed. Mm-hmm. I have to make this a house of the Morning Lord again. All right, I can do that. Finally turns around to you. You're not coming at dawn.
Nay. I need to be moving on. But I wanted to be fair with you and tell you I'm not going to be here.
I appreciate that. I think you've done more than enough for me already. I can see myself for the first time, and I'm appalled and deeply embarrassed, but no one died. I didn't kill anyone. I'd be a liar if I said there were some days I was so tired and it would have been so much easier, but no one died. And I have to remember that, don't I?
You need to remember, being a father and being a father are not the same thing.
Damn, that was good.
Got him.
Shit. Drop the mic.
A
Sorry.
year of this. It was a year. I didn't break until month 7. If they can't feed for long periods of time, they become weaker. What you fought down there was Probably not at full strength.
McArthur.
Be careful. You'll need to be careful.
I'm like, I'm a few feet away to get
Yeah.
space and whatnot.
You're there, but yeah.
I'm like, and I put my hoodie up because I'm like, God damn it. I just sit there and look around while they talk.
That.
This place is good. This place is lucky to have you, Father.
I will try to become worthy of that title again.
He'll like try to.
He reaches out and he clasps hands with you.
Exactly.
And stays there for a good bit, and you feel the strength in him beginning to return, some of the will, some of the resolve beginning to restore behind his eyes. All right. Is there anything that you need me to do for you here?
Aye. Take care of yourself.
We'll see. It's in the taking care of others that I know I'll regain my strength. It's going to be very hard. We don't have leadership right now. I suppose I will have to act as burgomaster until something happens, but as much as it pains me to say this, Ismark is right. Staying here is not an option now. Not really.
I look over my shoulder and I'm like, you wouldn't be able to like bless us or anything, would you? And towards him. Not her. Just, yeah.
Huh. Morning Lord, who some call Lord of the Dawn Star, Master of new beginnings, old as time itself, fill this humble hall once more with thy exalted presence, if it be thy will, and rest a smile, a warmth, a touch on these fellow travelers. And subtle, quiet, dim, but there, you feel a presence greater than you settle into your bones and your tendons, making you swifter and surer, at least for a while.
Thank you, Father.
He has not forsaken me. All of my perfidy, and still he deigns to flow through this aged body. I'm going to sleep now, and it will be a new dawn when I awake, brother. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, brother.
Oh, the floor sagging over there. Need to take care of that after I wake up.
Oops, sorry.
Okay. Then we'll take our leave.
At the Kolyanovich Manor, the rest of you gather up. Plenty of gear, iron rations, hardtack biscuit, rope, climbing spikes, leather gloves for hard terrain.
Nice.
Ismark has been thinking about it for a while, and he says, I don't suppose grandfather would mind, eh? And he's taking out some of his grandfather's gear, checking it a second time. So there's like a small, it's bigger than a trowel, but smaller than a full-size shovel. But basically he can strap it to the back of his backpack so that you have a means of digging if you have to, if it comes to it. And he goes in and you see him kind of make a insight check, Gara. As he heads into his father's study.
17.
I had a feeling that one was going to be good. Actually,
I had a good feeling.
I could feel it coming. My own tides of chaos. He pauses at that study door and he tries. You see him twice. He opens the door, but he can't. And this is all, you can't see his face because you're behind him, but you kind of see the shoulders sag. And you can feel him struggling to accept that he is now the head of his family, what's little remains of it. And he just can't force himself to go into that study for what he knows is going to be the last time. Not yet. Do you say anything?
Don't push yourself. Let him pull you.
He looks over his shoulder. Damn it. Damn it. Okay.
Can you not tell by all of his gear, you planning this? This is probably what he would want.
I know it is, Kira.
Think
And
of
that's
it
why it's so fucking hard.
as an invitation.
What did your even taller than me friend say? Rite of hospitality? Are you considered wise where you come from?
I know the ones who are.
Because if
Some of my favorite people.
you told me no, I was going to tell you that they were fools. And he gives you the first real smile this whole time. And then he turns and he accepts the terrible responsibility laid at his feet to try to contend against the master of hell in hell. And you see him take his father's key, which he had taken from around his neck, and he opens the locked drawer. A second lock that was inside takes out a strong box, unlocks that with a second key, and gathers up a small fortune that you're going to need. Okay. All right.
Would you like my help or would you like a moment?
I feel like nudging her to be like, go freaking help him.
I think
We're not there.
We're not there.
I know.
I think Gira, I'm trying to remember. You never told him. You never told him your clan, did you? Did that come out?
I mean, she's very proud of it, so she's.
I'll let you decide.
Usually, when it's the whole introduction, it's the whole introduction.
The very first time it wasn't, but I'm going to say at some point in the morning you had mentioned it.
Yeah, by now she's definitely mentioned it.
He says,
Gira, warrior, philosopher, and poet.
well, Gira of Clan Shikani, I think you did already render me assistance. And I think I've had many moments, many very good moments in this very room, learning from a man who was wiser than I. Yeah, let's do this. And he walks out.
She'll give him a big smile now, and she's definitely shed a tear or two along with him. She's kind of feeling some of that because she's lost some people, not as many because she still does come from the world of Terra, but half-orcs weren't granted.
No.
I'm assuming.
No, it's a much
rougher. She's used to funerals.
You've had a much rougher road to hoe.
Yeah.
All of you people are not getting resurrected. To die only in their natural time.
What do you mean by you people?
What do you mean, half-orcs?
No, you people are fine. So
I have a Tropic Thunder moment.
as you're walking back, Durgan and Artexia, you hear some quiet sobs, and I don't want to go. Come on now. Come on, you'll have a grand old time with little Morgantha. Yes, you will. Let's just go on. And sounds like Morgantha, not a Morgathi.
Different
What
name.
is that?
Yeah.
Who's the girl version of Morgathi?
It's the twin.
It's the twin.
Morgaine.
Morgaine. I was
There are a
like,
lot of M's, okay? There are a lot of M's going on. And you see a cart, a remarkable looking cart with all sorts of splendor around it, with a child tied to the cart and being led by it. And there's a stooped old woman who's pushing the cart, and that is where we will pause.
Oh
Lovely.
my gosh.
All right.
There's a hula what now?
Have mercy.
This is the middle of the day, huh? All right.
Broad
Late
gray,
morning,
No rest.
maybe
Working
noon.
out gray light.
broad gray light. I was just about to say it. Yep, you got that.
Top of the day. Top of the day.
Well, quite a bit happened. Melissa, give yourself inspiration. That was truly some beautiful, succinct. Like it felt quintessentially Gira to me,
It's very Gira.
and like super insightful,
Ultimate
but
Gira.
like just compressed the way that she should be. I think.
Yeah, I'm
that she
gonna
feels.
start being able to actually show a little bit more of who she is and what she grew up with.
Now they're not just in Death House.
No, we're not just.
Oh, now we're in Death World.
Now you're in Death World. Congratulations to Death World.
We went from Death House to Death Valley.
Well,
World has expanded.
yes, it has. Worlds of Wonder. So, faraway friends, I hope you enjoyed your time with us and with the Dreadlord Strahd and with Black
best and
Rose
our naughty
your
dice.
besties and your very naughty dice and naughty NPC dice, because there's a lot of flailing going on. So we will see you. Actually, I believe when this airs, it'll be the next. Should be the next week if I'm doing my math right. So you'll get 3 in a row.
Hopefully we'll see you soon then.
Yeah, we'll see you soon. As you go about your journey out there, stay safe, stay curious, and do not be abducted by precipitation.
Yes.
Farewell.